mir bei The Outer Worlds. Nach einem Jahr, glaube ich, ist es jetzt wieder soweit. Und ich spiele beide DLCs durch.
Alright. She's on her way. You bet I am. You don't want to know how much engine gun came off me in the shower. Oh, my hands have finally stopped shaking. Alright. Deep breath. Here I go.
Okay, dann begeben wir uns wieder zurück zu Parvati wahrscheinlich.
Anyhow, so I told him, Dad, I'm a big girl now. I don't need your help. I can do it on my lonesome.
What did he say to that?
Have at it there. And he handed me his favorite wrench, the one he used to be. He's probably half as tall as I was.
He didn't scold you for talking back to him?
Nah, he was never like that. I always thought it was funny when I get indignant about something. Then he'd watch me do whatever it was, make sure I didn't get hurt, but he'd never interfere. I learned a lot that way.
I wish I could have met him. Anyone who helped shape you must have been a special person.
Okay. Mann, das scheiß Dings. Okay, jetzt.
Okay, Captain, she's gone. I feel like running laps around the cargo bay. So she got here, and the first thing she said was, "Oh, you smell nice, like mock apples." And I was like, "Yeah, new soap." And then she just sort of touched my arm real gentle-like and called the cut of my outfit elegant. I couldn't hear the rest on account of my heart was beating so hard. Then I led her into the kitchen. I think she about cried when she saw the spread. she stood stock still and just said, "Oh, real soft." Oh, and let me tell you, I was sweating. And then she blinked and said, "Is that dustback casserole?" I told her how we got Mr. Raymond to bake it for us, so it was double authentic. Made by a real live monarchist? Monarch. Well, we talked. When I brung out the sweetheart cakes, June, she got a little teary. Said she had a thing she needed to say. But I stopped her because I wanted to say it first. I never felt so bold, Captain. One of us has got to be. We're both... June's so reserved and I'm so shy. I worried if I never said anything, nothing would ever get said, you know? I told her about how she made me feel. Bold like I acted. Strong. Smarter and kinder than I am on my lonesome. I listed all the things I liked about her. And then she pulled out a paper and read a speech. Anyhow, when she wrapped up, I asked her to be my girlfriend. And Captain, she said yes! We talked about it some. I told her I wasn't sure how it'd work, how I've had a bad time of it in the past. She said we'll take it as it comes. Fix things together. Share meals, talk. Maybe she could rub my shoulders when they're sore. I said I might like that. It's all on your account, you know? Imagine if you'd never taken me out of Edgewater. I'd have never met June Lay at all. I don't know nothing about the Vicar's capital P plan, but you've sure changed my life. So, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna head to my cabin and...
Dann geht's jetzt nach Gorgon. Geil. Ich bin so ein kleiner Fotografiefuchs. Ich muss von allem Fotos machen. Wenn ich davon jetzt auch Fotos machen. Warte mal, irgendwie das Handy in der Hülle irgendwie angenehmer da zu halten. Vielleicht gibt es wieder 2 Landephasen. Einmal das Manual. Boah, krass, ey.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be? See you soon.
Schnellreise ist ein praktisch. Ich hab noch mit meinem Sitzsacker.
Welcome to Ambrose Manor. We were not expecting company. Please follow. Do not stray from the path.
Das ist jetzt nur das Manual, da gibt es dann noch andere Ebenen, ja, aber.
Aw, that's no fun.
Oh no, we should check to see he's all right.
This unit expresses dismay.
Irgendwie. Oh. Oh, wir lassen das mal so.
Not even a scratch.
Nein! Okay, scheiße, wir haben ihn kaputt gemacht. Ich hoffe, das zieht keine Konsequenzen auf sich. Boah, das sieht schon geil aus, ey, ne? Garten der Ruhe entdeckt. Mal Cooldown gibt es noch einen Lagerraum oder sowas. Ausbreche ich mir nochmal die Beine. Okay, wir werden wahrscheinlich das Spiel jetzt kurz wieder auf schwer stellen. Die Outer World. Der gehört den Garten die Fische.
Those big empty windows. Feels like the building's watching me. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
At the very least, there ought to be something worth stealing in there.
Wow. Toller Teich. The older words I'm pursuing.
Okay, maybe not.
It's so empty. Oh, Captain, something here don't feel right.
Is that you, Lucky?
Huh? So who the devil are you? You don't say. Well, make yourself at home, Captain. I'm sure we have much to discuss. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is my third. So join me in raising a glass to Gorgon. To Gorgon. May cosmic winds shepherd her to the nearest star. I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose, but you can keep it short and call me Minnie. Now, what brings you to my house, gorgeous? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company. A severed arm. How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop? Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man. Very brooding and theatrical. Always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles.
He's definitely not doing that anymore.
What happened to him? Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now? I sent Lucky on a dangerous mission to the Gorgon asteroid. Whoever found his remains must have wanted to inform the next of kin. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback. Settling an old score. How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent vacancy, and I think you're well suited to the job.
Remember, play hard to get. That's negotiation.
You offer work to everyone who breaks into your home? Must be some kind of Byzantine tradition I ain't know about.
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands.
Ich komme gleich. Mann, wenn man einfach Brillen putzt, wie viel zu Hause hat, das immer mit Wasser macht, das ist schon traurig.
I like my employees well groomed. Appearances are everything.
Das sehe schon viel besser irgendwie, ne?
I'm looking for both. Remember, I'm rich enough that I can afford to be choosy. And I choose you, dear Captain. Allow me to lay out the facts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck. I wish I could say otherwise. One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. I'm told she wasn't the only casualty that fateful day.
It must have been real hard on you, losing your mother all of a sudden like that. I'm sorry to hear it, ma'am.
Thank you. Ambrose ladies are supposed to be resilient to the unexpected, but this was especially hard on me. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. I simply need the evidence to prove it. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light. Even if it means bringing ruin and humiliation to Spacer's Choice. All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility. I'm not surprised. Between the family drama and the corporate conspiracy, speak freely, Captain. I suspect it will prove that corporate greed and incompetence were to blame for the calamity at Gorgon, and not Mother. Mother was a brilliant woman. Difficult, cold, unreachable even, but brilliant. Then my family's disgrace, our curse, will be absolute. This is my last hope of redeeming the Ambrose name. I don't like my I didn't want to go anywhere near Gorgon. Once I exhausted all my options, the search led me back here. I even had Mother declared legally dead. Would you believe it took 5 years to process the paperwork? It isn't as bad as you make it sound, but technically, yes. Mother's body is still on Gorgon. No body means no death certificate, which means no inheritance. I killed Mother, just on paper, of course, so I could claim my inheritance. We wouldn't be standing here if I didn't have access.
Damn, wish I'd thought of that.
I once assumed the mansion and the money would be enough to redeem the Ambrose name. But even in Byzantium, prestige must be earned, and it can so easily be lost.
You know, some people work hard just to break out.
Break back into high society, yes. I'm trying to do several things at once. None of them easy. The smear campaign against Mother was the work of cowards. I'm vindicating the family name for her, for the colony. At the very least, I can guarantee that we learn from our mistakes. A failure on the scale of Project Gorgon should never be allowed to happen. This colony is in trouble. The lunatics at Spacer's Choice are running the asylum, and we need better people to wield their influence. After Gorgon, I quickly discovered that the Ambrose name was cursed, for lack of a better term.
That's Byzantium for you. Gossip mongering's a bigger sport than tossball.
That is why I'm clearing the record and vindicating the Ambrose line. For Mother. Thank you, Captain. You won't regret this. When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks. I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. They almost seem drawn to sorrow and misfortune. Then there's the test subjects, those who survived anyway. Ravenous creatures left behind like so much salvage. I told him everything I've told you. Just the facts. Maybe a couple of harmless embellishments. Why? Still, you're smart to ask. Lucky spent most of our time together spinning a pistol around his index finger. Not sure he listened to any of my advice.
That sounds like Lucky, all right. The man loved to show off.
He had an aura of rugged individualism that was quite charming. Not that it helped him in the end. But you won't let me down, will you? Perhaps we should cut the Q&A short in that case. I don't want you having second thoughts. There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room, so if you want to follow his trail, that would be the place to start.
I think I've heard of that place. Cheap whiskey, rough crowd. You'll love it.
Oh, you think maybe they got a little mascot? Like a sprat in a tiny hat?
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander the family fortune if you get me what I want. Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound? The cash? No one's ever done this before, and the only person who tried is a corpse. Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels. Spacer's Choice should be the one apologizing, but thank you. Sincerely. A word of advice before you go, Captain. Trust no one. Mother's office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down. I only want what's mine.
Mysterious heiress, unexpected gainful...
It's not theft if she's giving us permission.
Okay, krass, Alter.
Real slick.
Peril und Gorgon. Das ist mal eine schöne Einleitung, würde ich mal sagen. Okay. Reisen wir mal nach Gorgon.
We are now in orbit above Gorgon. Welcome back. How can I... Goodbye.
Moment
Welcome
mal.
back. How can... What part of...
Ich dachte, du sagst mir jetzt etwas über...
Take care.
Naja... Gorgon!
I don't know what kind of mess Spacer's Choice made here, but it figures they'd leave it to someone else to clean up.
Okay, Gorgon ist riesig. Das ist genauso groß wie ein Monarch. Okay, das ist wirklich, wirklich riesig. Und es gibt ja noch andere Planeten, das ist lustiger.
No one lasts long on Gorgon unprepared. You looking for supplies, stranger? Let's stock up here. If you run low on bullets out in Gorgon, let me know if you're looking. You mean you came out to this asteroid without knowing nothing about it? Me too. Heard it was wild here and couldn't resist. Trouble is, if you wander off to somewhere you oughtn't be, like way out in Gorgon's farthest reaches, odds are slimmer of your bits finding their way to my pockets. If you want my advice, stick close to the Sprat Shack. I figured not. Look, I ain't stopping you from wandering elsewhere. But if you do, be sure you watch out for the Marauders. That's the you watch out for Marauders, Mance, and Charles from McCann. Only the meanest Marauder on Gorgon, and also anywhere else. That, he will bust your head open like an overripe mock apple if he so much as sees you. Sorry, been a minute since... Charles from accounting is like... Imagine if you took 3 of the most howling mad Marauders... That and a rocket launcher. Did I not mention that? Right, sorry. He's... I don't know. Hard to guess how many he's killed, given the explosions tend... I'm joking.
I'm starting to wonder if there ain't a person on this rock entirely out of their minds.
Look, long story short, you do not fuck with... Yeah. The Marauder camp way out to the east. And I sure hope you're asking so you can... Huh? Oh, you don't gotta worry about that. It's got something to do with that scrapped spacer... Damn a lot. You know, I don't... I think that alarm's gonna bang on for all time. Ain't nothing doing that control terminal in. I know, because even Von Hoffman couldn't bash it in. And I seen that tough son of a gun throw a man clean across... Found a pickaxe...
Ordentliches Zerstörungswerkzeug.
unit is a friend to all peddlers.
Spread Track. Okay, ich werde jetzt so ein, zwei Häuser wahrscheinlich durchmachen und dann werde ich erstmal lassen. Das ist jetzt nur eine Einladung, das DLC für mich.
Come here. Let's have a chat. All right, inspection time. Look at my eyes for as long as you can without blinking. Starting now. Good. Look up. Now look down. Thank you. Got him from my mother. You're doing swell. Now, name and occupation. Good enough for me. You're cleared to pass. That was a sanity check. If you had changed like the others, it'd be in your eyes. You'd also be drooling, cursing, and making a mess of the place. Welcome to the Sprat Shack. Every day, salvagers and scrappers set out to comb the ruins and make their fortune. The ones who come back, they aren't always the same men or women who left. They change. Never for the better. First, they get real twitchy and paranoid, shouting at folks who aren't there. Then they smell like they soiled themselves, on account of how they soiled themselves. After that, they're gone. Nothing but animals wearing human skin. Seen it happen myself. It's never pretty. This is the Sprat Shack, the most remote watering hole in the system. Rule number 1, no fighting. We're the only hospitable place on this rock. I want to keep it that way. That's why we have rule number 3. When people change, they stay outside, where they belong. Just don't ask me to dance. Bouncer, bodyguard, law enforcer. I make sure the Sprat Shack gets only the highest caliber of clientele.
That's us.
And I thought this place was gonna...
We get a lot of brand-loyal corporate types, and a lot of cutthroat freelancer types. This is a sublight bar, so most of our regulars come to plunder the old... The facility's locked up behind miles of red tape, so progress is slow. Something bad happened here. Spacer's Choice was developed. Marauders... This place is under a dark cloud, stranger. That's all I know. If you want the history... Stay cool.
Smell that? Cheap whiskey and stale cigarettes. My kind of place.
Oh, ugh. This place smells like Felix's birth.
Welcome to the Sprat Shack. First one's on the house, and I won't even water it down. What'll it be? Bottoms up. I assume you're here for salvage. Even if I did, I ain't supposed to play favorites. Most of my regulars are sublight scavengers. They pick over the ruins of Gorgon, spend their earnings at the bar, and head back out the next day. Vicious cycle, but that's life. You're the first new face I've seen in a while. Lucky. Sure, I knew him. He could get a little dramatic at times, but he was a good guy. Heard he took on a dangerous job. Spent a lot of time coming and going from the Office of Creative Incubation, just down the road. That's where the top rungers at Spacer's Choice came up with slogans and marketing. Lucky never told me why it was so important. Awful shame about what happened to him. You really want to hear my story? Law, most everyone around here is sick to death of it by now. Last I saw of Lucky was a few days ago. I went outside for a smoke and a stroll, and I saw this wild canid dragging a bloody limb. So I kicked the canid, scared it off. Get this, the canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm. I'm a bartender. Attention to detail is my middle name. Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named Alex Hawthorne. I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among... So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp. No kidding. And now you're here? Colony feels smaller than you'd think some days. I'm glad I was here to see this, confluence of events, you know? The stars really aligned on this one. And here I am, smack dab in the middle. I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get his affairs in order, you know. Oh, I hate to see people go with unfinished business. 3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself. Fair warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done. Trust me. Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. They say Adrenatime came from here, just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very hush-hush back in the day. Roscoe might tell you more. He spent some time around here before the bar opened up. There's always Leonora, my favorite customer over in the storage room on the 2nd floor. Keeps to herself and always closes out her tab. He's been here since opening day. I think he told me he got left behind when Spacer's Choice pulled out. And I guess no one's coming to get him.
Mann. Geschmack, wieder so viel Gespräche, ne?
He didn't tell me and I didn't ask. I'm his bartender, not his human resources rep. If you believe the chatter, a lot of good folks got left behind, and a lot of bad folks made it out. Sometimes that's all there is to it. Roscoe's drinks are on the house. Y'all know how it feels to get left behind. He'll be all right. He's with the family now, and we take care of our own.
Was riecht denn da draußen?
What are friends for, eh? I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the evacuation order went out. Grunts and lab coats scrambled to get anywhere but Gorgon. And the weirdest thing of all, Adrenatime still hit the market. Me, I never touched the stuff. To each their own, but I think it's dangerous. Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal, prototype weapons, drugs, money, and more drugs.
Und Charles im
When
Buchhaber.
Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and ran. Most of it, of course, the real treasure is whatever's locked up in the old facility. Until someone figures a way to crack it open. We're just sifting through dirt. You got it. Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old Project Gorgon days. When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved in to salvage what we could, and they put me in charge. Yes and no. Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker, and he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea. I've seen the paperwork. Everything's in order. When I say my boss is a filthy sprat, I'm not exaggerating. See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the sprat. If there were any legal problems with this place,
You know, they do something similar in Byzantium. Fancier system, but same idea.
You think a sprat could own Edgewater? Oh, imagine one wearing Mr. Thompson's little hat.
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. I don't make the rules. Easy. His name's Matt.
Ja,
The beautiful
toll.
thing is, no one could tell Matt Spratt apart from an ordinary vermin. I think that's kind of the point, to send the authorities on a wild Spratt chase. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. The Spratt Shack's gone through a lot of title holders over the years. As far as business arrangements go, this one's a head-scratcher, but... Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint, keeping the riffraff outside where it belongs. They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Talk about wasted potential. Yes. And no. Again, that one was Hagen's idea. She told me that speaking in vague terms keeps you out of trouble.
Ich merke schon, dem DLC werde ich wieder einige Stunden verbringen.
Or maybe a sugar sprat pie.
You're a humbug, Trixie, and worse, a thief.
I can't steal what's lawfully mine.
That was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then, and you've no right to it now. Don't you be getting any ideas.
I risked my life sneaking around Marauders to claim that wreck. And I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done it, eat fist!
All right, that's enough! This is a family establishment! You want to make a mess? You make it outside!
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a fortune.
It's the same fight every day. 5 years we've been at this, and we still can't agree on how to properly tag salve. Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit quietly, or I'll forbid you to come here at all. Is that understood?
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout, and we'll settle this later on our own terms.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other's. You'd do that for me?
Gegen einen Obolus.
Nothing's free on Gorgon. You're clever to have that figured out already. Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the generous stranger.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this equation. So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right?
Yeah.
I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people.
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day, so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me.
Dann war sie jetzt erstes da.
Quit leading the prosecution, Hullhead. Anyway, that's my story, ma'am. I drew an X in the dirt, with my toe. Wouldn't surprise me in the least, but that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for bearing the weight of responsibility. You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
Ich.
Thank you. Law, it's hard to get a fair trial in this sprat-fucked colony.
You'll pay for this. I don't know how, and I'm not sure when. But just you wait, and maybe it'll happen. Someday.
Here's a 6-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change. I'll write to Lilia Hagen in the corporate office on Groundbreaker. She'll get some haulers to drag it away. It'll take a while. Nothing happens fast around these parts. Come and chat if you're...
We could always go back and
Cool, unsere erste Quest sozusagen.
That's my captain.
You have to tell him. Is made.
I wouldn't get too close to that railing, just in case.
Huh, who's this now? Wonder if they could... Holy shit, a fresh face. Haven't seen your like in years. Don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this solar system, pal, but you're welcome here. Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that lady's got a mean left hook. Some kind. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Got into reporting thinking I was gonna be some sort of public intellectual. What a joke. Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board, and the rest writing puff pieces on the chairman's latest beard trim. Real life and death shit. If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an old bastard a small favor? Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back when Project Gorgon was active. I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phonographs. But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet, they said. Right on the money. Look at me, I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you're just the right amount of rough around the edges. Help me get my recordings back so I can finally get the hell out of here. No shit? That's downright civilized of you. All right. One of them I stash in the Office of Creative Incubation, in the projector room on the 3rd floor. I gave another to my friend Birdie to keep in her apartment, just outside OCI's upper entrance. You'll find another in the chem lab. It's in the main lab storage room. The final one is in human inquiry and auditing. It's tucked behind a pipe in observation room B. What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly... Strength to your sword arm, friend. And thank you.
Cool. Dann führe ich auf jeden Fall noch das Gespräch mit der anderen. Und da geht's nach oben. Dritten Stock ist ja auch noch einer.
What have you got there?
As a medical professional, I gotta say, that is very well preserved and disgusting.
You think they stick the preservative in before or after the eye comes out?
Someone's in here. Oh, lol. It's coming back up again. I'm all right. That last one really emptied my guts. No, wait. Are you making...
Sorry?
How'd you do that so fast?
What's on your mind? If you're heading...
Don't you worry, Mr. Lucky Spirit. We're gonna finish your work and put you to rest. Good and... proper.
I'm just hoping we don't need Lucky's arm to open something else. Whatever happened here, we're not gonna be next. Be ready.
This unit is currently... Please return. Error. Tilt along. This unit will now engage. This unit is currently... Please return. Have a better...
You better teach me that. that again.